Today I'm going to let you in on one of my biggest secrets, which is how I create so much content for my business, Partner in Wine. Now, this is a 4-step process that I have really developed over the years, and it is the process that makes me the most productive. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I do it. This is the process that I use on my day-to-day social media. It's also the process that I use for campaigns. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through in a vlog style real time of how I planned my Valentine's Day content. Step 1 is research and ideation. I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how I get my inspiration, and that is through research. And research means looking at things on social media, saving posts, and one of my favorite places to look for inspiration is Pinterest. Let's go. It's Valentine's Day, so that means that all systems are go here, and I am planning my content, and I'm going to be planning it live with you today. So I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning with burning anxiety, which actually doesn't often happen to me, but this morning it did. And I realized it's because I have 4 working days this week. I'm off on holiday on Friday, and I have planned no content for Valentine's Day. So this is all a little bit last minute, which is a classic me. So I'm going to talk you through how exactly I plan my content. Okay, so first things first, I love looking at Pinterest for inspiration. I have so many different boards on Pinterest, it's actually quite disturbing. So I wanted to show you my Valentine's Day board, which is what I created this morning. But as you can see, there's loads of little different things in here, and they've each given me inspiration for a different reason. So really the idea with Pinterest is that we are scrolling through, trying to get some ideas and think up a list of props potentially that we might need. So for example here, do I need to buy some love heart shaped ice cube holders? The answer is no, because I did that last year, and let me tell you, it failed miserably. I need to get bigger ones if I'm going to do that. Here, I thought this would be ideal for the campaign. So the Better Together campaign is basically if people buy 2 or more products, then they will get a discount. So the idea there being that you have a partner or your best friend or whoever you want to buy for. Then I clicked on this particular one this morning because I thought the Polaroids were super cute, and I did think I could potentially try and make a Partner in Wine bouquet. So we've got some brown string here, which I don't have. So I'm going to go over into my campaign document, and I'm going to write down props that I might need. So brown string. I will be able to get a coffee cup holder from my local coffee shop, so that's fine. I need an envelope, but actually I'm pretty sure that I've got some envelopes in here, so I might be able to use those. Oh, and they've got a lovely little inside as well. So I don't need an envelope, but I'm going to write that on my list anyway, because when it comes to creating the content, it just means that I'll have everything in one place. And as you can see here, I've written all of the different content ideas that I want to use that this Pinterest board has inspired me to do. So for example, the bouquet here, making a bouquet of Partner in Wine bottles, I've written that here. So, and the envelope with kisses on, so I'm going to take some Polaroids of 2 products together, and then have them sticking out of the envelope as just like a little teaser, and then I can do a stop motion reel but also turn that into a GIF for an email. And then heart blues are a different level. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that yet, just because I don't know if I necessarily want to go and buy loads of balloons, but I could potentially do that, and then have the Partner in Wine bottle and tumbler on the table with some lovely candles. And then I thought actually this could be quite fun, wrapping a Partner in Wine bottle in Valentine's Day paper with red ribbon around it, which was inspired by this. And I know that that is not actually in wrapping paper, but I like the vibe of it. Make sure you stay tuned, because at the end of this video, I will be answering a Q&A that I posted on Instagram, all to do with the content creation process. Step 2 is arguably one of the most important steps in this process, and that is planning and preparation. For planning, I use a content spreadsheet, and this is a spreadsheet that I used to use for my clients when I was a social media manager, and I developed this spreadsheet over the years to suit multiple different platforms so that you can see your content cadence on one screen. So it includes red letter days, social media platforms, your emails, podcasts, anything else that falls under content that is being posted related to you or your business, that goes into your content calendar. Let's take a closer look. To kick off the planning and preparation stage, you'll want to get
get your content calendar open. Now, this, as I said, is one that I developed when I used to manage social media clients, and I just found it really useful to have everything on one page. People used to ask me how I plan my content, and so eventually I ended up putting it on the website for sale. So the link for that is below if you want to download it. Now, if you're using your own, that's absolutely fine, but what you're going to want to do is spend some time putting in launches, red letter days, and seasonal events into the calendar. It could be holidays, it could be things like the Super Bowl, the Met Gala, but the most important thing here is it needs to reflect the seasons, because as seasons change, as events come up, you will need to adapt to your customer's mindset. There are two different kinds of content that you need to film and content that you need to create based on whether that's a graphic that you need to do on Canva or content that comes from stitching footage that you have already got together and putting a voiceover on it, for example. Once you've planned everything into your content calendar and then written a to-do list of content that you need to create, it is time to get creating. Which brings us nicely onto
there's a few different apps that I use to help me plan my content, and as you can see, I heavily rely on Google Docs, Asana for making to-do lists to then tick off the content creation process, tick off the editing process, and then later on ticking off the posting process. That is questions that you guys have asked me. Step 3 is physically shooting the content. Now, I just use my iPhone. I'm actually recording this on my vlogging camera. I don't tend to use this camera for social media creation. And the reason behind that is because for social media content, it needs to be, nowadays, it needs to be raw, it needs to be ready. The iPhone camera or an Android camera is perfectly acceptable to create your content, and it will actually film it in the right format, which is amazing, which is portrait. One of the best things that you can invest in is a tripod, and I have linked my favorite tripod below in the comments. This is a tripod that is portable, it holds my phone, it's really, really good for just whipping it out, taking it on the go, wherever you need to take it. Number 2 I invested in recently, which is a light, and lighting is one of the most important things that you are going to need for your content creation. As you can see in this video, I'm actually sat in my living room and I have these gorgeous sash windows, and the light comes in here, which is amazing, which is why I'm sat here filming. So when you film, you need to make sure that lighting conditions are good, and this comes down to the time of day that you actually film your content. So I usually film my content in the afternoon, and that is because the light shines through these windows and I film right here on my dining room table, and the lighting is the best at that point. I also get this lovely afternoon sunshine which comes through, and that's what I use to film my wine videos. Obviously I can't predict the weather, so sometimes we don't actually get the sunlight and I just need to film. You can't be too precious about it, but I do set aside a few afternoons a week to do a couple of hours of filming, and that is how I get so much content out there. You have to plan it in your diary, just like a meeting. Lastly, when filming content, it's so important to make sure you don't have any background noise if you are filming you as a person. So just before I started filming this YouTube video, I turned off my washing machine because it is so annoying to have background noise in a video. You will never notice, like professional content creators, they never have noise in the background. Even if a plane was to go over, that would be kind of annoying. So making sure that you have the right lighting conditions, the right sound conditions, and obviously if you need to use a pair of headphones to record your voice or a podcasting microphone, anything like that, just make sure that people can see you clearly, hear you clearly, and you will be fine. Things can get a little bit hectic when I'm filming content, so let's have a little look behind the scenes. I've just been to the shops and I forgot to take you with me, but I thought we'd unbox because I bought some props for the shoot this afternoon, and then I'll give you some sneak peeks behind the scenes of what we get up to, and then obviously afterwards how I'm going to edit it, how I'm going to plan that into the schedule that I showed you earlier on in this video, and then you'll get a better picture of how exactly it is that I plan all my content and manage to put so much out there. Okay, so first of all, I've got some baby's breath. Baby's breath because I want to put it in this with the bottles, so it looks like a bouquet of bottles or like tumblers or I don't know, something along those lines. Then I went to Sainsbury's and found all of these really cute little things. So I've got some heart tea lights, which I may or may not use. We shall see where they fit in. How cute. Don't have a holder that will fit those, unfortunately, but still cute. Then I got these. little tapered candles. Probably should have got this from a small business, to be honest with you, but I was working last minute, so we are where we are. Then I got this little pen because I thought it would be good for like writing in the journal, for the journal promo for Better Together, which is my Valentine's campaign. And then my favorite thing, how cute are these? They're like little coupes. When I have friends around, I don't let them use my nice glasses, sorry guys, so I kind of actually thought this would be cute anyway, but also like, I don't know, I might use them in here, I might not. I actually bought the, oh Jesus, I bought the coffee cup holder for, to put 2 ice queens in, so I probably won't. But I just thought those were really cute and I could maybe use them for, I don't know, something content related. My boyfriend's gonna kill me because we don't have enough room for these, but if I keep them in my office, then he doesn't need to.
Lucy.
I also didn't put the thing that way up, so that's good. It's just manufactured. And the sun has decided to piss off. I needed like a glass of red. Spending hours doing a photo shoot for a 30-second clip. Probably actually 10 seconds, realistically. Oh, dearie me. The sun's gone. Okay, everyone, I'm back at my desk. I've somehow managed to cut my finger. Not quite sure how I did that, but now I have filmed and I've got a shed load of content to organise and edit. So that is what we're doing now. I'll hopefully remember to show you what happens when I edit my videos, if I don't forget, which I hope I won't. So I'm just gonna, what I've done here on Asana is I have ticked off the, in fact, let me show you. I'm ticking off the videos that I filmed. So I filmed the Snoop Dogg Cali Rose. I filmed that. So I filmed all of these ones. So what I'm gonna do now is move all the ones I filmed to the bottom so I can see what I have left to film. And then I am going to, oh, I wasn't gonna do that anymore, was I? Envelope with kisses on. So I'm gonna delete that because I decided against that. Sometimes I write down ideas and I start filming them and I decide that they're just not gonna work for socials. Like, I think sometimes you have an idea in your head and then in terms of what actually does well, you start doing it and you're like, that's boring, it's not going to resonate with people. The last step in this process is number 4, which is editing and posting. How do I edit my content? This is a question I'm asked all the time. So I have apps that work for me. You may have apps that work for you. I personally love using Splice. I know a lot of other people love using CapCut to edit their videos. The reason I love using Splice is because it has a whole library of royalty-free music. And I just like the capabilities that are included within Splice. I've used it for years. I used it for years before CapCut even came out. So I'm just used to editing with it and I can edit quickly with it. I can edit efficiently with it and it just works for me. I'm very often asked how I managed to get such crisp voiceovers for my videos. And the reason for that is these bad boys. Guys, I'm bringing back the wireless headphones. So I would highly recommend getting a pair of these if you don't already. You probably already own a pair. So cheap, so handy, and it's just so much crisper when you are doing a voiceover. Just make sure your hair is behind it and make sure that you hold it just far enough away from your mouth so that it doesn't blow into the microphone. But this is how you are going to get the most crisp quality for your videos at an at-home DIY price. Now let's talk a little bit about subtitles because I always put subtitles over my social media videos. And the reason for that is because sometimes people will be browsing and they won't want to have the sound on their phone. And so it's super important that they can see what your video is about and listen to what you're talking about whilst they have the sound off. It's also an accessibility thing for those who are hard of hearing. Just really, really good to have captions on your videos. Now, on Partner in Wine recently, I have upgraded captions. I don't know why I don't have it on my personal Instagram, which has taken a huge weight off my shoulders because I used to use an app called CC Captions where I would add the text over. And this would add an extra step into my content creation process, which was highly irritating because what I would do is edit the video in Splice, download it, put it into TikTok, add the TikTok captions because that's really, really good for your video SEO. And then I would put the captions on for Instagram because I don't like the Instagram captions, and then upload it to Instagram. So essentially I was having to do the caption process twice, which means the captions aren't always generated correctly. So you have to go and edit them. So I would have to edit 2 lots of captions just to upload one video. And the fact that I now have nicer captions on my Instagram, and I'll show you an example. This now means that the video SEO is going to be way better because it's pulling through the captions that Instagram have put on the video already. For some reason, the reading of the Instagram captions is way better than the reading of the TikTok ones, so I don't actually have to edit the Instagram ones as much. The only downside to the Instagram ones is you can't change the lines that they're on or where the captions actually appear on the video. So sometimes you'll have a bit where you're not talking and there'll still be captions over the top. My top tips for editing your videos is make them snappy, make them short, don't waffle on. This is a skill that you will develop over time, so don't panic if your videos don't hit as you want them to, first and foremost. And I just want to remind you that I was making content for Partner in Wine, posting about wine videos for maybe like 2 years before any of them went viral. That allowed me to develop my style, develop it over time, and really get in tune with what worked and what didn't. It's all an experimentation process, and you have to look at the analytics. And you have to ask yourself why your content performed the way that it did. To hashtag or not to hashtag, that is the question. Now, on Instagram, I don't tend to hashtag. I tend to just choose 3 different categories for that video. And you can do that when you're uploading the reel, type in your caption, scroll down, make sure you've had a look at all the options. And there is the option in there to add different categories so that Instagram knows what your video is about. On TikTok, on the other hand, I will hashtag. I'm not totally convinced that hashtags on TikTok work the same way that they used to. I genuinely think it is more to do with the content. Yes, the hashtags can help if your video is going viral, but I do think it's down to those first 3 seconds in the video. So make sure the first bit of your video has a really good hook, interesting footage, and I hope that that will work for you because it's something that works for me. Okay, Q&A time. I've had a few messages from people on Instagram asking about my content creation process, which a few of them I have covered off in this video. Someone said they would like some behind the scenes on workflow and practices. Someone said they would like some behind the scenes on workflow and processes, which I have put earlier on this video, so tick. How do I make the time? You seem to produce so much content, I am in awe. I just think that over time I've developed processes that work for me. I'm a very, very time efficient person. What you don't see is that I will plan my videos on one day, I will film them on another day, and I will edit them on another day. If I was to spend all day, every day producing content, firstly, it would get very, very boring very, very quickly. I've done it before, it's not worked for me. The second thing is that I only film a few videos a week. A lot of my other content is actually just old footage stitched together. So I will get my inspiration from looking at old videos of mine, looking at other people's videos, redoing old videos that I've done that have done well in the past, and I'll just stitch all that content together and put a voiceover over it. That does take a lot of time. That actually takes more time than filming videos does, but as I said, I will do these things on different days to break up my day. Because I'm also in a groove with it and I have people waiting for the next wines that I'm posting, the next video that I'm posting, the next business story that I'm posting, I really hold myself to posting 2 wine videos a week. Maybe in the summer I'll post more, but you have to be super strict with yourself. And I think sometimes we make excuses like, oh, no one will mind if I don't post. No one will mind if you don't post, but being consistent is so key to growing your audience, growing your customer base, and ultimately reminding your customers that you are there. Do I batch my content? No. And the reason for this is that I like to record content when I'm feeling inspired. If I'm not feeling inspired, there is no point in filming because it won't come across on camera. And even if you're not filming, even if you're editing a video, if you're not feeling inspired by that video, it is not going to come across as inspiring. And I've said this so many times before. If I go out for a walk, I'll probably get about 10 different content ideas. So what I do, as I said earlier on in this video, is I write those things down. I will go home. If I'm feeling inspired that morning, I will clear my diary and I will work on making that content. If I have content creation planned into my diary, and it's the type of content where I'm editing stuff together, I know that I won't feel enthused to do it unless I'm enthused by that idea at the time. So I will make videos as I feel enthused, and then I build up a bank of draft reels or draft TikToks to then post at a later date. I've never been a batch content creator, and I just don't think it works for me, because the things that inspire me on a day-to-day basis, I can talk about on my story and then I can post some content later so that everything links nicely together. Whereas if you're just posting a piece of standalone content, it can be a lot harder for people to engage with it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have learned something or two today, and I hope that this is going to help with your processes. I've linked everything below that I've talked about in today's video. If you've got this far in this video, I would love you to subscribe. I really want to hit that 100 subscribers mark. Now I get it, I don't normally subscribe to everyone, but in order for me to justify making more content like this, I really need to get more subscribers. So if you wouldn't mind and you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful, please do subscribe. If you have any questions for me, please pop them below in the comments. If you have any other questions or any other tutorials or how-tos that you would like to see from me, please pop them below in the comments and I will see how I can help you. Wishing you all the success with growing your business, and I'll see you next time. Bye.